Hi guys, welcome back, Kalclash Fitness. Now, as the years and the decades start flying by, I thought, this is a video I've been thinking about doing for a while, video series, but no one really prepares you or helps you to understand what getting older actually means, mentally and physically. Everybody knows you get older and we're all on the same path, we all end up at peace eventually, but getting there it almost feels as if it's a mystery for everybody to uncover themselves, and I don't think it should be that way. And what I want to do is share my experiences of getting older, training, and the mental aspect as well, which is a huge part of it. And I want to hear your thoughts. So if you're younger than the age group that we're talking about, then tell us what you're worried about, and people can jump in and help out. If you're currently there, tell us, how it feels, and if you're older, then give us that experience. So we're going to start with sort of your early 30s, so turning 30 out of your 20s, and turning 30 up until sort of like your mid 30s. Then we'll cover mid 30s, and then we'll cover where I am now, late 30s. So we'll do a different video per age group. And then we'll cover the 20s as well, but I'm going to need some refreshing of my memory. Now, my previous video did really well. Thank you to everybody that commented and liked the video. It makes such a huge difference. So please do the same. Make a comment, hit the like button. It helps beyond belief. And that inspires me, gives me the enthusiasm and motivation to make more videos. I was thinking about all the lovely comments that I got that makes me sit here today and film this video. Without further ado then, let's hit it. So I'm 37 now, believe it or not. Some of you may think older, some of you may think younger, some of you may have thought exactly that, but 37 years old. So I have to think back a little bit to when I turned 30, but it still feels very fresh in my memory because it's such a huge milestone and everybody makes such a big deal about it. Do you know what I mean? So, that really, from 29 and 364 days to 30, there's no difference, but all of a sudden everyone's thinking that you're old, it's telling you all these aches and pains are coming, that your body's going to start deteriorating, this type of thing. It's nonsense, it's absolute nonsense, but the mental aspect of that is crippling. It really is, it's crippling. And there's a few elements to unpack there for me that were big ones, and I'd love to hear people's experiences of the same thing, how you dealt with, coped with turning 30. And I'd love to hear the younger perspective of what your thoughts are of turning 30, what you're worried about, what you're looking forward to. But for me, it's a big milestone. And for me, in my 20s, I used to go to bed dreaming about becoming a world champion of this, that, and the other. I used to be very good at Thai boxing, but I never really jumped in at a competitive level because I was too busy doing silly other things in my youth. And there wasn't really a way to turn it into a career, or there wasn't a clear path to turn it into a career when I was younger, but I still used to go to bed dreaming about becoming a world champion in this, or doing whatever sport I was doing at the time. I'd go to bed and dream, and even though it was unlikely, it still felt like there's an outside possibility and you can dream of that happening. And then when you hit 30, it's sort of like, okay, that's never going to happen, is it? It's like a steamroller hits you and you're like, okay, that is just a dream. Now that's probably not going to happen. And that's when it's less of a physical game really, hitting your 30s. And you start to doubt yourself, you start to second guess yourself, and you start to think, oh, I can't do this anymore, I can't do that anymore. And it's absolute nonsense, really. I think back then, and I think about a period of time, maybe a year, of me thinking, I'm older than I was, and my body's less capable than it was. At the time, I got into triathlon, and I excelled in triathlon. Really, I went from 18.5 stone to running 17-minute 5Ks, qualifying for the European Championships to represent Great Britain in sprint triathlon, completing an Ironman, all these type of things. And so looking back, the physical aspect was, it's non-existent. For a message out there for anyone turning 30 is just ignore it. From a physical perspective, it's just the same as everything else. It's listening to your body, not anybody else. Detractors or people that are trying to give you positive influence or negative influence, whatever. It doesn't matter. You listen to your body and have self-belief in what you can do. If your body needs to rest. I just had a terrible workout, but it's because I didn't give myself enough rest, and I knew that coming in. I just love working out, so you know, I couldn't help myself, and then I had a poor workout, and then I feel a bit rubbish after. But it's about listening to your body, you know, and not anybody else. It's a daunting aspect, turning 30, it is. And, you know, people say life begins at 30 and all this type of thing. 30 is still young. If you speak to, you know, a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old or a 70-year-old, they'll look back and they'll tell you that their 30s was, you know, one of their best decades. They feel young, you're still considered young even though you don't feel it, and even though you'll have plenty of 20-year-olds telling you you're not young anymore, you are. And then all of a sudden, one day they'll reach 30 and they'll realise the same thing. So the mental aspect is big, and you have to get to terms with, you know, where your life's going, what direction you're going, what is achievable, and, you know, not giving up on any dreams that you may have, and knowing you still have that physical aptitude and, you know, fortitude to go and achieve what you want. I know people in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are still excelling at sports, excelling at triathlon, excelling at running, and doing whatever they want. My life has completely changed in my 30s for the better, for the most part. You know, I'm happy now. There's stresses in my life. I've had to go through a lot of hardships, a lot of changes, but you know, the amount of outpouring of support, it's difficult to hear sometimes. You know, even, you know, all the lovely comments that came through on the last YouTube video about how I've, you know, turned people's life around and the running, that it's hard for me to hear. It's lovely, but it's difficult, you know, to have that positive affirmation, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, but it's, you know, it's difficult to hear. And in the last year or so, the amount of outpouring in, you know, in real life that I've received, you know, a lot of time you put in, you don't expect to get back, and when you get back, it's just a lovely feeling. And, you know, going off topic a little bit here, but I just want to say that I appreciate everybody watching this video. I appreciate you so much, and all I want to do is help. And anybody that's coming into their 30s, really the take-home message is, don't stop, don't give up, don't slow down. It's just a number. You know, a birthday means nothing. Listen to your body. Listen to, please, anybody above 30, let everybody know in the comments down below what it meant to you. Has it slowed you down? How did you adapt to it? Let the younger generation coming up, anybody that watches this video, let them learn from our experience and coming up and all of that. And we'll talk next time I make a video in this series, which will be soon if it's popular, so please let me know if you like this. But we'll cover mid-30s next, and then we'll cover where I am now in the late 30s, and then maybe people can start giving me some advice on when I start to turn 40, which will be in 2 years' time, believe it or not. So that'll be a fun aspect to get to grips with. And then we'll try and remember what our 20s are like, so that might be fun to relive that. But probably a lot of advice for 20-year-olds in how not to waste your time, not how to throw your youth away. But for now, really, that was it. Maybe a bit of a meandering video, but hopefully, you know, it's just nice to be able to talk about these type of things. I don't feel like people talk about it enough. I don't feel like there's enough positive messages and influence out there. You know, you put on YouTube these days, you see loads of people taking steroids, you know, completely vacant up here with no personality. Opinions have just been copy and pasted directly from social media. It's very disturbing and very upsetting to see. So what I want to do here is just keep it real and keep speaking to you guys and keep sharing actual knowledge, actual experience that hasn't been just lifted from social media and regurgitated by some personality void muppet with a fake tan, steroids, you know, and doing whatever they want to do. But for now, let's keep this positive. Let's, you know, please comment, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to keep these videos coming for you guys. I spoke last time about what videos are next to come, but if you've got any more suggestions, stick them in the comments down below. But for now, you know what to do by now. Keep it rolling.